Okay. Okay. So we're going to rationalize your exams here. Okay. So, mahirap bang exam? Mahirap ba? By the way, no, the highest for the exam. Mahirap talaga, mahirap. Wait lang ha. Tingnan ko yung highest sa exam. By the way, the highest in the exam is... mahirap talaga, mahirap. The highest is 75. The highest is 75. Nakita niyo bang scores niyo? The exam, di ba? After the... No, it was program na after the exam, makikita niya siya. After the attempt. Okay. So, alam ng taong yan kung sino siya. Alam ng taong yan kung sino siya. The highest is 75. So, medyo hindi masyadong mahirap ito, no? Kasi may 75 eh, 5 mistakes. Sino kaya siya? Okay, the highest is... Tantagadan. Ito. Sino kaya hula niya? Sinong hula niya? Sana all, no? Confirm ko ba? Okay. The highest is... The highest is Miss Madirable. Okay? So, congratulations, Miss Madirable. Okay, by the way, 75 din ang highest sa A. So, it's a tie. Oh, sana all. So, hindi mahirap, di ba? Kasi may 75. Di ba? Okay. So, let's have our rationalization. Ano ba yung mga answers sa exam? Bakit mahirap? Okay, so, readable ba? Nababasa ba ninyo? Maliit masyado? Okay lang? Okay lang? Nababasa din? Okay. So first question, all of the following statements are true with the historical perspective of parasitology. Historical perspective. Okay? The correct answer, class, is... Wait. So yung answer key. The correct answer is letter B. Okay? Just as people of prehistoric era were primitive, relatively speaking, not so true with parasites. Okay? So, pag primitive ang tao, class, primitive din ang parasites. Okay, hindi din siya advanced. So, the correct answer is letter B. Okay? Number 2, all of the following statements are true with epidemiological studies of parasites, except. The correct answer is letter C. The habits and customs of people living in underdeveloped countries are not part of the contributing factors. Okay? By the way, no, some of the questions are self-explanatory. Ibig sabihin, common sense na ang kailangan. Makakasagot ka. Okay? So, habits and customs are part of contributing factors or contributing factors siya for a parasitic infection. Okay? Number 3, ito medyo tricky na ang mga following questions, no? Kasi double negative siya. Yan niya. All of the following statements are false about obligatory parasite except. Ibig sabihin, ano yung hinahanap dito? Okay? Yung totoo or the true about the obligatory parasite. Kasi nga false except. Okay? Which of the following statements is false except. Okay? The following statements are false except. Ibig sabihin, hahanapin mo yung true. Okay? The correct answer, class, is letter A. Parasite that cannot survive outside of the host. So that's the definition of obligatory parasites. Diba? Hindi sila makakasurvive outside of the host. Kailangan nila ng host to survive. That's the definition of obligatory parasitism. Okay? Next is, all of the following statements are false about facultative parasite except. Okay, hahanapin mo yung true. Number 4, class, is letter B. Parasite that is capable of existing independently of a host. So, pwede siyang mabuhay with or without the host. That's the definition of facultative parasites. Okay? Number 5, all of the following statements are false about endoparasite except. What is endoparasites? Okay? The correct answer, class, is letter C. They are parasites that established inside the host. Kaya nga endoparasite, di ba? Hanapin mo yung true about endoparasite. So, the correct answer is letter C. Established inside of a host. Sorry, hindi niyo na pala nakikita. Okay? So, number 6 tayo, no? 6, all of the following statements are false about ectoparasites except. Okay, Chongson, present, okay? Noted. Okay, number 6, which is the statements are false about ectoparasites except. The correct answer, class, is letter D. Parasite that is established in or on the exterior surface of the host. Okay, that's the definition of ectoparasites. Nasa labas lang sila. Katulad ng mga kuto, kilisa. Those are examples of ticks. Example, linta. Yeah, ectoparasites. Number 7, all the following statements are false about commensalism, except. Number 7, class, is letter A. Okay? Association of two different species of organisms that is beneficial to one and neutral to the other. Pag sinabi mong commensalism, class, it is a relationship wherein yung isa lang yung nakikinabang, pero yung isa walang yung isa hindi nakikinabang pero hindi siya nagko-cause ng harm. Okay? Commensalism ang tawag doon. Okay? Yung isa lang ang nakaka-benefit pero hindi din na nakaka-harm yung
isa.
mutualism na pala. All of the following statements are false about mutualism except. Number 8, class, is letter B. Okay? Association of two different species of organisms that is beneficial to both. Okay? Nalito ba kayo sa tanong? Okay? Lahat sila are false except. Meaning, hahanapin niyo yung tamang sagot or yung totoo about mutualism. So, both of the organisms are beneficial to both. Okay? Yung isa nakaka-benefit, yung isa din nakaka-benefit. Okay? From each other. Diba? Sana all nakaka-benefit from each other. Okay? So, number 9, all of the following statements are false about parasitism. Okay? Except. The correct answer for number 9, class, is letter C. Association of two different species of organisms that is beneficial to one at the other's expense. Ibig sabihin, yung isa nakakinabang, yung isa napapahamak. That's parasitism. Okay? So, hindi lang ito applicable on parasitology, no? Marami pang klase ng parasites on, sa gilid-gilid. Baka hindi nyo alam. Diba? Joke lang yan. Okay, number 10. All of the following statements are true with parasitic life cycle, except. For number 10, class, the correct answer is letter D. A parasitic life cycle is consist of a phase that involves the route of a parasite follows independently of human body, provides an understanding of the symptomology and pathology of the parasites. Okay? Ano ba yung mali dito sa statement na to? Okay? So, the incorrect word, class, is the independently. okay, involves the route of a parasite follows dependently of the human body. Okay, diba? Isang word lang yung mali, pero the entire statement is already false. So that's the incorrect answer. Okay, number 11, all of the following statements are true with parasitic disease process and symptoms, except the correct answer for number 11 class is letter D. Preventive measures may be taken against every parasite infective to human. Diba? This statement class is not part of the disease process and symptoms. Preventive measures is part of control and prevention. So that's the correct answer is letter D. Okay? Ay, sorry. Hindi pala na next. Sorry. Okay. Number 12. Okay, number 13 class. All of the following statements are true with specimen processing and laboratory diagnosis. Okay, the correct answer is letter D. The vast capital expenditures required to accomplish these measures are not available in many endemic countries in the world. The statement in letter D class is part of epidemiology, not on specimen processing and laboratory diagnosis. Okay? 13 is letter D. Okay, 14. All of the following statements are true with specimen processing and laboratory diagnosis, except. Okay? The correct answer class again is letter D. The scientific names of a parasites are written in Arial font and consist of components, the genus and the species. Ano bang tamang sagot? It is italize. Di ba? Dapat naka-italize yan, not Arial font. Okay? So correct answer is letter D. Okay? 15, true or false? Enhanced preservation of specimens now allows parasites that otherwise might have been destroyed to remain viable. The correct answer is true. Advances in other areas of medical and biologic science coupled with discovery of useful tools such as microscopes not only expanded our knowledge of parasites and their makeup but also their relationship with the host. The correct answer again is true. By the way, lahat ng true or false are true ang answer. Okay? So, ano yan? So, kung nagpataka lang sila, kung nag-answer lang true, so swerte sila. Kasi lahat ng true or false here are true. Okay? So, hindi ko na yung uulitin. Okay? Baka may mag-isip na dyan na true ulit. Okay? The increased number of diversity of a parasitic organism may allow practitioners to gain high levels of expertise in parasite identification and treatment. Of course, true ulit. 19 measures are also now in place that are designed to protect the practitioner when handling samples for parasite study. Again, sorry. Yan. Number 9, true ulit. And number 20, the increased prevalence of global travel likely accounts to parasitic infection being spread to areas other than where this infection originated. So, sabi, yung traveling daw can spread yung infection of the parasites. Of course. Okay? If the person is traveling, if the disease or parasitic infection is endemic in a certain area, and then nag-travel yung infected person, padadala niya yung infection doon sa area na hindi or walang sakit na, walang parasitic infection na kumakalat. Okay? 21. Okay? Historically, a dramatic increase in parasite infection incidents occurred in the homosexual population, but is now also occurring more in the heterosexual population. The answer is true. Okay? 22. More recently, parasitic infection have become more prevalent in underdeveloped countries regardless of the person's sexual orientation. Okay? 22 is true. 23. Okay, 23. In addition to a number of morphologic adaptation, parasites are capable of protecting themselves from the human host immune system. That is also true. Okay, parasites 24. Alter their antigenic makeup so that the host will not recognize the modified parasites as foreign, and thus the initiation of immune response does not occur. True ulit yun. Okay? Yan yung tinatawag na masking class, no? Wherein the parasite can produce a hormone or an enzyme to mask or alter its genetic component para ma-mask ng parasite yung kanyang sarili. Okay? And then, ang mangyayari class, the body or the immune system will not going to detect the parasite as antigenic. Okay? Hindi niya na makikilala. Okay? So, hindi siya makakabuo or makakagawa ng antibodies or defense against that particular parasites. Okay? Yan yung mga nakakatakot ngayon na infection. Okay? Nag-mutate sila. What we know as non-infectious before can be very harmful or pathologic today. So, nag-evolve din sila. Okay? Number 25. Okay? So, other organisms, other specimens including blood, tissue biopsies, CSF, sputum, urine, and genital material may also be examined for the presence of parasites. In some cases, this sample is basically processed the same as of the stool. Okay? True ulit. Okay, number 26. Number 26 class is letter D. Morphologic forms of protozoa and helminths may be detected from properly collected and prepared stool specimen. Okay? Okay? Bakit false yung letter D class? Okay? Because this is not part of the identification and identification of laboratory identification. Letter D class is part of collection of sample. Okay? 27. All of the following statements are true with ONP examination except the correct answer class is letter D. There are 3 general components associated with routine parasitology procedure. Okay? So bakit? Ano bang tamang sagot here? There are only 2 types of general components. Ano yung dalawang components class? Macroscopic and microscopic examination. Okay, so hindi 3 ang answer. So 27 class is letter D. Sorry. Okay. 28. All of the following statements are true with collection and transport of samples except the correct answer class is letter D. Stool samples from patient whose therapy includes barium, bismuth, or mineral oil should be collected prior to therapy or not until 15 to 17 days. The correct answer here, class, is 5 to 7 days lang, not 15 to 17. Kaya the correct answer for 28 is letter D. Okay? Number 29. All of the following statements are true with collection and transport of samples except 29 class is letter D. Stool should be retrieved from toilet bowl. Water because of free-living protozoa and nematodes may be confused with human parasites. Again, letter D because it should not be retrieved from toilet bowls. Okay, 29 is letter D. 30. Okay. All of the following statements are true with collection and transport of samples except. Correct answer class is letter D. When handling all specimens, gloves and protective coat should be worn at all times. Wala. Okay. Okay, saan pala itong letter D. Saan nabilong itong statement ng letter D? Okay? Handling and processing, not collection and transport. Okay? 31. All of the following statements are true with collection and transport, except. Okay? Correct answer, class, is letter D. Form stool specimens are not likely to contain trophozoites, therefore they can be held for 14 hours following collection. The correct answer, class, is 24 hours, not 14 hours. Okay? 31. Yes. 32. All of the following statements are true with fixative for preservation, except. Okay? The correct answer, class, is letter D. The specimen, hindi pala nakikita na. The specimen must be fixed in the preservative for at least 20 minutes before processing begins. Okay. Bakit mali yung statement letter D? Okay? Napin ko lang yung tamang sagot. Preservation. It should be 30 minutes and not 20 minutes. Kaya yung statement letter D, class, is false. The correct answer is letter D. Okay? 33. All of the following statements are true with fixatives for preservation, except. 33, class, is letter D also. One of the biggest advantages of formalin is that it preserves parasite morphology adequately for permanent stain. Okay? So, ano palang tamang sagot dyan, class? Okay? It does not preserve parasite morphology adequately. Again, letter D, class, it does not preserve. Ang ginagamit talaga for preservation is, ang ginagamit talaga na preservative for permanent stains or permanent smears, class, is PVA or the polyvinyl alcohol, not formalin. Kaya the statement letter D is false. Number 34, all of the following statements are true with fixatives for preservation, except. The correct answer, class, letter D. The greatest disadvantage of preservative is that it cannot be used for preparation of the permanent stain smear. PVA is the one being used for permanent stain smear. So, false yung letter D. Kasi yung statement cannot be used. Si PVA naman talaga ang ginagamit for permanent stain. So, the correct answer, class, is letter D. Okay? For 35, all of the following statements are true with fixative for preservation, except. Okay? The correct answer, class, is letter D. The biggest disadvantage of the use of PVA is the Shodin solution containing calcium chloride. Okay? Na hindi siya calcium chloride, instead, it should be mercuric chloride, not calcium chloride. So the correct answer is letter D. 36, nandiyan pa ba si 36? Yes. All of the following statements are true with fixative for preservation, except. The correct answer, class, is letter D. Sodium acetate formalin is hard to prepare. Okay? Doon pala ka statement na yun, mali na. Because sodium acetate is easy to prepare. So the correct answer, class, is letter D, number 36. Okay? 37. All of the following statements are true with fixative preservation, except. The correct answer, class, is letter D. Modified polyvinyl alcohol provide the same quality of preservation for adequate protozoan morphology on a permanent stain slide as a mercury-based fixative. Okay? It is not modified polyalcohol ata. 37.
Ipalit na ni mo?
Wait lang. Hanapin ko yung tamang sagot.
Para Mura lang yan.
Okay? The correct statement should be, however, these substitute products do not provide the same quality of preservation for adequate protozoan. So modified polyvinyl alcohol do not provide the same quality. So the statement should be negative. So modified polyvinyl alcohol does not provide the same quality of preservation for adequate protozoan morphology. So the correct answer, class, is letter D. Okay? So number 38, all of the following statements are true with fixatives for preservation except. Okay? So the correct answer, class, is letter D. Using alternative single vial fixatives, organism identification will be more easier from a permanent stain slide. So negative, mali yung statement, class, because using alternative single vial fixatives, organism identification will be more difficult. Yun yung tamang answer. Will be more difficult from permanent stain slides. So mali yung letter D. Okay? 39. All of the following statements are true with macroscopic examination. Except. Okay, correct answer is letter D, because most laboratories receive fecal specimens already in fixative. This step is often skipped because these macroscopic characteristics cannot be determined. So, ano yung mali doon sa statement na yon? It should not be macroscopic. It should be microscopic examination should be skipped, not macroscopic examination. Okay? Number 40, all of the following statements are true with macroscopic examination except. Okay? The right answer, class, is letter D. Helminth's eggs and larvae may not be found in liquid or form stools. It is found. It can be found on liquid and or form stools. Okay, correct answer, letter D. So next page. Okay. 41. All of the following statements are true with macroscopic examination. The correct answer, class, except the correct answer, class, is letter D. That the color of normal stool is black. So, yan ang false. Okay, the correct answer is brown. The color of the normal stool is brown. Okay, parang reddish brown ba yun nasa book? Parang ba ganyan? Okay, 42. All of the following statements are true with macroscopic examination except. Okay, 42, class, the correct answer, class, is letter D. Other microscopic abnormalities in the specimen may have a parasitic indications. For example, blood or mucus, loose liquid stool may be suggest that the presence of amoebic ulcerations in the large intestine. Okay, the correct answer, class, or the correct statement should be. Okay. Okay. Letter D statement is about microscopic abnormalities. So, hindi siya part ng macroscopic examination. So, the correct answer is letter D. Kasi siya yung false sa choices. Okay? 43, which of the following statements is of the correct pairing? Again, correct answer, class, is letter D. Loose, pale brown, and scanty mucus. Okay, 44. Yes. Choose the possible correct pairing. 44 is letter D. Formed, red, brown, blood, or barium. Okay. For 45, all of the following statements are true with macroscopic examination except. Okay. The correct answer is letter D. If the specimen is received in fixative, concentrated technique can be eliminated from the ONP procedure. Ano yung mali? The concentrated technique. It should be, ano yung hindi pwedeng gawin if the specimen is fixed or merong fixative. Okay, so ano yung hindi mo ipe-perform? Okay? The direct fecal smear. Okay, not concentrated technique. Even even merong fixative yung stool sample class, you can still perform concentration technique. Okay? Pero DFS, no. 46. Okay? All the following statements are true with the ocular micrometer, except. The correct answer, class, is letter D again. The ocular micrometer is a disc that is inserted in the eyepiece of the microscope. Okay, the disc is equipped with the line evenly divided into 50 or 150. The correct answer should be, or the correct statement should be 50 or 100 units, not 50 or 150. Okay, 47. All of the following statements are true with direct wet preparation, except. Letter D, the correct answer is letter D. If the specimen is received in the laboratory in a fixative, direct wet prep procedure should be done first. Okay? Siya yung, sabi ko kanina, di ba? Siya yung hindi pwedeng gawin. Pag naka-fix ang specimen, hindi pwedeng i-perform si direct wet preparation or the direct fecal smear. Okay? So, 47, letter D. 48, all of the following statements are true with direct wet preparation, except. The use of oil immersion is usually recommended for the wet preparation. Again, hindi gumagamit ng oil immersion sa direct fecal smear or the wet preparation. Why? Okay? Wet na nga yung sample mo, freshly collected sample, and then may NSS, and then may cover slip. Hindi mo na siya pwedeng lagyan ng oil immersion or hindi ka pwedeng gumamit ng immersion oil na objective. Okay? Why? Kasi mababasa or gagalaw yung slide. Okay? Hanggang low power and high power lang. The low power for movement of the parasite and the high power is for counting the number of parasites. Okay? So walang oil objective doon. Okay? For 49, all of the following statements are true with direct iodine wet preparation, except. Yes. The correct answer again is letter D. Sorry. Letter D. The light adjustment of the microscope is critical for the detection of protozoa. Ito, class, if you are viewing it on the microscope and the specimen is stained with iodine. Okay? Ano yung hindi pwedeng gawin? Okay? Which are often translucent and colorless. The light should be increased using the iris diaphragm. That's the incorrect statement. Okay? The light should be decreased, not increased. Kasi, ang sabi nga dito, di ba? The specimen is already translucent. Ibig sabihin, transparent na siya, almost transparent. Kung gagamitan mo siya ng mataas na ilaw or high intensity light, wala ka na talagang makikita. So you should lower the intensity of light. Yung iba class dapat almost yellow ang ilaw or the intensity. So for you to view yung iyong specimen. Okay? So the correct answer is letter D. 50. All of the following statements are true with concentration technique or concentration method, except concentration technique cannot be performed on preserved stool specimen. So the correct answer is can be performed. Okay? So negative yung statements. The correct answer is can be performed. Okay? For 51, all of the following statements are true with formalin ethyl acetate sedimentation procedure. The correct answer is letter D. Parasites are lighter than the solution in the sediment of the tube, whereas fecal debris is usually heavier and rises to the upper layer of the test tube. Pag concentration technique class or yung FECT, ibig sabihin nasa bottom yung parasite or the debris. Okay? And then floating yung solution. Okay? So kabaliktaran. So 51 is letter D. What about 52? Zinc sulfate flotation technique. Again, the correct answer is letter D. When the zinc sulfate is added to the specimen and centrifuge, the parasites sink and can be skimmed in the bottom of the tube. So letter number 52 class, yung letter D niya is the definition of the concentration, not zinc sulfate flotation. Okay? 53. All of the following statements are true with the zinc sulfate flotation technique except. Okay? Correct answer class is letter D. This procedure, zinc sulfate, the zinc sulfate with specific gravity of 1.38 to 1.40 is used. So the correct answer here, class, is letter D because mali yung specific gravity. Ano yung tamang specific gravity? I think it's 1.18 to 1.20. Kaya ko ulit The correct answer, class, should be 1.18 to 1.20. Okay? So, mali yung statement letter D. Okay? Okay, 54. Okay, statement. All of the following statements are true with permanent stain, except. The correct answer is letter D. The procedure allows laboratory technicians to observe detailed features of protozoa by staining extracellular organelles. Again, wala po tayong extracellular organelles. Lahat po ng organelles nasa loob po ng cell. So the full statement here is letter D. All of the following, next 55, all of the following statements are true with permanent stain except the sample of choice for permanent staining is a thinly prepared slide of a see-through thickness made from a formalin-preserved sample. Okay? The incorrect statement or the incorrect word here, class, is the formalin-preserved sample. Okay? It should be the PVA preserved sample. Kasi nga permanent staining, di ba? These should not be formalin-preserved. Kasi nga, di ba, hindi ginagamit si formalin to preserve a specimen used or if you are going to use it for permanent slides. Okay? So the correct answer, class, is letter D because the formalin preserved sample should be PVA preserved sample. Okay? 56. All of the following statements are true with duodenal material except. Okay, letter D ang answer. If the volume of fluid is sufficient or less than 2 ml, it should be centrifuged and sediment examined. The correct answer, class, or the incorrect word here, class, is the less than 2. It should be more than 2 ml. Okay? 57. All of the following statements are true with sigmoidoscopial material except. The correct answer, class, is letter D. Coccidian parasites in microsporidia may not be recovered. Okay, yun yung false statement. Each coccidian parasites in microsporidia can be recovered from examining material from the sigmoid colon. Okay? 50s, sorry. Okay. 58. All of the following statements are true with cellophane tape preparation except. The incorrect statement here, class, is in addition to pinworm, there is an evidence of support to use of this technique for the recovery of amoeba specimens or species. Okay? So, hindi po tayo nakaka-recover ng amoeba using cellophane tape method. Mahirap po yun gawin because our amoeba parasites, class, are only present in loose or soft sample, yung mga watery. Okay? How can you scotch tape yung sample? Okay, the correct parasite or the incorrect word here, class, is amoebic species. It should be Taenia. Taenia species ang tamang word here. Okay, 59. All of the following statements are true with blood specimens except. So the correct answer here, class, is letter D. Definitive identification does not require demonstrating parasites, features, and permanent stained smear. Okay? It should be definitive identification requires demonstrating the parasite's features in a permanent stained smear. Okay? So, nag-negative lang siya. Okay? It should be required. Okay? So, letter D is the correct answer. Okay, 60, true or false? Once the blood sample has been collected, two types of smear may be used, the thick and thin. Itong thick and thin, class, ginagamit lang ito siya if you are suspected or you are suspecting for malarial infection. Okay? Yung thick smear, ginagamit siya for screening, and yung thin naman for a better identification of the species of the parasite or the malaria identification. 2 ang let. 62, 61, there are two permanent stains commonly used. So, meron tayong rides and Giemsa. So, 61 is true. Sorry. 62, Giemsa stain is considered the preferred stain for blood smear because it allows the detection of the parasite's detail necessary for species identification. Again, true. 63. The knot technique is designed to concentrate blood specimens suspected of containing low numbers of microfilary. True again. Buffy coats may be extracted from blood specimens stained with Giemsa. True. 65. So cultures of blood as well as seeded specimens such as bone marrow and tissues may be performed. So they are using the Novi and Novi, McNeil, and Nicole. So NNN culture. Again, 65 true. 66 cerebrospinal fluid. Specimens may be collected for the diagnosis of amoebic conditions associated with select amoeba as well as African sleeping sickness. True pa rin. Kasi nga, di ba, they have control on our nervous system or yung ating brain. Okay? So, vaginal and urethral specimens as well as prostatic secretions are typically collected and examined for the presence of Trichomonas vaginalis. True. Okay? 68. Serodiagnosis is a technique used for the diagnosis of Chagas disease. Again, 68 true. 69. Okay. All of the following statements are true with morphology and life cycle of amoeba except correct answer, class, is letter D. It is important to note that the nuclear characteristics of trophozoites are basically identical to those of the corresponding cyst. Okay? It should be identical, not unidentical. So yun yung mali na word sa statement that makes the entire choice as false. Okay? 70. All of the following statements are true with Entamoeba histolytica, except. So the correct answer, class, letter D. The spherical and round cysts of Entamoeba histolytica are typically smaller than the troughs or trophozoites, measuring 2 to 28. The correct answer, class, is 8 to 22, not 2 to 28. So mali yung numbers. 71. All of the following statements are true with Entamoeba hartmanni, except. Correct answer is letter D. Infections on Entamoeba hartmanni are typically symptomatic. So, ano lang ba yung symptomatic, class? Diba si Entamoeba histolytica? The rest are asymptomatic. Okay? 72. All of the following statements are true with Entamoeba coli. So the correct answer is letter D. Trophozoites of Entamoeba coli typically measures 8 and 17 micrometer. So yung size at ang mali, hanapin ko yung muna yung tama na number. Entamoeba coli, ano ba ito? Trophozoite. Entamoeba coli trophozoite measures 18 and 27 micrometer, not 8 and 17. It should be 18 and 27. Okay? So that makes our statement incorrect. So the correct answer is letter D. 73. All of the following statements are true with Entamoeba poleki, except. Okay. The correct answer is letter D. It is interesting to note that all the reported cases of poleki documented in the United States in 1965. I think the correct answer is 1985, not 65. Wait lang Iyan ako. it should be 1985, tama. So not 1965. So the correct answer is letter D. Okay, 74. Next page. Okay. All of the following statements are true of Endolimax nana, except Endolimax nana trophozoites vary in size from 15 to 22. The correct answer is 5 to 12 dapat, not 15 to 22. So letter D ang answer. Okay, 75. All of the following statements are true with Iodoamoeba bucceae. The correct answer is letter D. The nucleus of Iodoamoeba bucceae trophozoite is often described as resembling a basket flower in shape. The correct answer here, class, or the correct statement should be the nucleus of Iodoamoeba bucceae cyst, not trophozoite, resembling a basket of flowers in shape. Okay, so 75, letter D. 76, all of the following statements are true of Entamoeba gingivalis, except discovered in, the correct answer is letter D. It was discovered in 1829. E. gingivalis was the first amoeba recovered from the human specimen. I think the wrong choice, class, is letter D because of the year. The year is incorrect. It should be 9. Ano yung year na yun? The correct answer or the correct statement should be 1849, not 1829. Okay? So, okay. 77. All of the following statements are true with Naegleria fowleri, except. Okay, the correct answer, class, is letter D. The cyst measuring from 3 to 22. Okay? The correct answer should be measures from 7 to 15, not 3. The cyst pala, no? It should be 9 to 22. 9 to 12. It should be 9 to 12, not 9. It should be 9 to 12, not 3 to 22. So the incorrect statement is letter D. Okay? 78. All of the following statements are true with Acanthamoeba species, except. Okay? The correct answer is letter D. The round-shaped Acanthamoeba species cyst measures from 18 to 35. So the correct statement should be 18 to 35. It should be 12 to 45, not 18 to 25. Assist pala. It should be 8 to 25, not 18 to 35. Okay? So the correct answer is letter D. And then 79, Acanthamoeba infections of the cornea of the eye are known as amoebic keratitis. Of course, it's the correct answer is true. 80, it is believed that Pseudomonas aeruginosa inhibits the activity of Acanthamoeba species. Okay? So obviously the correct answer is 2. So that ends our examination. Okay? So the highest is 75. Congratulations, Miss Madirable. Okay? Palakpakan. Okay? By the way, no, tama ba? Announce ko na kanina, no, wala kayong no class tomorrow. Muslim holiday. So mag-aral. Yung iba mag-rest. Okay? Ano pa ang gawin ng iba? Ano pa bang pwedeng gawin? Aside from that, matulog. Patula ba kayong tulog? Okay? 10 minutes break, class. OMG, parang, ano ba ito? End ng klase natin. 3:30 naman.